Located within the 1040 window, where the Horn of Africa meets the Red Sea, Eritrea is home to 6 million people. Although nearly 2/3 of the population is Christian, many do not enjoy religious freedom. Members of minority denominations often face persecution, and as a result, Eritreans are the 9th largest refugee group in the world. It is estimated that there are only about 500 Eritrean Seventh-day Adventists worldwide. Yet, just as persecution in Jerusalem 2,000 years ago scattered the early church and aided the spread of Christianity, today, God is using displaced Eritreans to share the everlasting gospel with their countrymen around the world. Join me for the testimony of a young Eritrean Adventist who gave up a promising career to share the everlasting gospel with his people. I am Pastor Sang, and this is ASAP Ministries Mission Matters. In May 2002, persecution forced the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Eritrea underground. At that time, Bemnet Meried was only 17 years old and soon to begin his pre-med training. But as a faithful fourth-generation Seventh-day Adventist, he knew that pursuing his dream of becoming a medical doctor would not be easy.
During the time of medical school, I was in great distress, sometimes especially because of the Sabbath temptations that I had. And there were times that at night that I heard heavenly music, and I believe God intervened in a mighty way. There were hymns that I heard, and these comforted me and strengthened me. The more I heard those songs, the more I was strengthened, and I found grace and strength to face all the problems and challenges. I was able to graduate from medical school in my country, Eritrea, but the main challenge that I had was the Sabbath. So keeping the Sabbath day holy, it was not always easy. And for that reason, to be an Adventist physician was difficult, and so I could not continue to stay in Eritrea.
It became clear to Bemnet that there was no future for him in Eritrea as an Adventist physician. But escaping the country was a dangerous proposition. Eritrea's borders were closed, and he was not even allowed to travel outside of the capital city. So he began to earnestly seek God's will. When anxiety and discouragement threatened to overwhelm him, God reminded Bemnet of his presence.
In this time, I prayed, especially at night. I was getting up about 2 a.m., 3 a.m., spending up on my knees and praying and reading the Bible for encouragement and inspiration, and God strengthened me.
Finally, in 2011, Bemnet was able to secure an interview for a visa at the United States Embassy in Kenya.
Leaving Eritrea, it was very challenging. There were checkpoints, but at the time that I left, there were no checkpoints. And then after I left, I had to pay the smuggler. In a miraculous way, God provided the money that I needed because I didn't have money. And the smuggler requested $1,000, and the person who sent me money sent exactly $1,000 before the smuggler requested that money. So this is amazing. And the other intervention that I could see God intervened was when I was in Sudan. The Eritrean embassy needed $300 in order to give me the passport. But before they requested the $300, the one sister from Europe, she was able to send me exactly $300. So God was providing enough money just for the things that I needed.
It was the start of a daring escape that took him through risky border crossings, refugee camps, and long night walks across the desert. Many refugees making this journey are kidnapped, held for ransom, raped, or trafficked for organ harvesting. But God protected Bemnet every step of the way. Finally, 3 months after his journey began, Dr. Bemnet arrived in Sacramento, California. From there, he intended to enroll at Loma Linda University for further training. But as he prayed for direction, God revealed a different plan for his life.
When I arrived in the States, God called me to ministry. At night, there were many times that I had impressions saying to me, Bemnet, what are you doing for your people? Even I couldn't sleep those nights. So I believed that it was God's call, and I decided to follow his will. And in a mighty way, the Lord opened means and opportunities so that I could serve him.
Abandoning his plans to attend medical school, Bemnet wrote and published a tract in his native language, something that he would not have been allowed to do while still living in Eritrea. With God's blessing, his ministry blossomed. Today, he is translating Spirit of Prophecy books, Bible studies, and My Bible First lessons for children. He is also involved in media evangelism, broadcasting, and leading Bible studies through social media. And now, he is partnering with ASAP Ministries on several projects, including one funded by an ASI grant to produce sermon series in the heart languages of some of the world's least reached people groups.
God has blessed me to do online evangelism through Viber app, WhatsApp, Facebook, all these means, and many people have been reached through this online evangelism. In particular, one family, especially about a woman, was able to come to the light because of this program. And she is now getting ready for baptism. She is studying with us, but even though she is still on the way to baptism, she was able to reach many of her family members. Today, because of her active participation, we have other people that are studying and getting ready for baptism.
Millions of Eritreans need to hear the beautiful truth of God's Word. There are 9 different ethnic groups in Eritrea, but only one of them has been reached with the 3 angels' messages. That's why ASAP Ministries and my good friend Dr. Bemnet have designed new projects to bring practical aid to thousands of Eritrean refugees in Ethiopia and share these special truths with the unreached Eritreans scattered across Africa, Europe, Australia, and North America. Will you partner with us to launch these new projects and take the everlasting gospel to this precious people group? Because Jesus is coming soon. Now more than ever, mission matters.